big problem and narrative surrounding the Raptors last year was their lack of big men and their lack of their ability to stop other dominant big men in the league. And after what Coach Nick Nurse said at Media Day the other day, talking about how there are some answers within this team, we just got to find them. It kind of got me thinking about, well, what are some of those answers for this team, and how does this team actually do against other elite big men, such as Joel Embiid, Jokic, Bam Adebayo. There's not really that many dominant offensive bigs out east. There's not that many dominant offensive bigs in the league as a whole. I don't mention, or I don't really talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo in this video because he only played one game against the Toronto Raptors, and I think that's too small of a sample size to even really draw any information from. One thing I did notice is that our defense against bigs got a lot better as guys like Precious Achiuwa and Scotty Barnes just learnt this system a lot better. The Raptors like to play a very switch-heavy motion defense, a lot of doubling, especially when we're faced against other bigs. They kind of double as soon as they get into the post or around the elbow area, bringing someone off at the opposing four to kind of crowd the space and put hands up, use the length. One thing too I think that people don't really understand is Precious Achiuwa is a great defender and is able to defend top bigs one-on-one for the most part. Yeah, he still needs help when they're banging down low just because he's smaller, and especially on the boards he needs help. But in the one-on-one defensive situation, I think he does really, really well. And I think people kind of underrate how well he does. Speaking of Precious, I think Precious did a great job of stopping opposing bigs later into the season, especially Joel Embiid, especially in the playoffs. Yeah, he was injured, but he really did a good job bothering him one-on-one, using his strength and speed to get into his space. And I think this is what this team does really, really well against opposing teams' best big, is they get into their space, they make them uncomfortable, and they throw hands up right everywhere. Try to make a lot of turnovers. As you can see here, Joel gets going and Precious just stays with him. Pascal slides over to bother him, and it's an easy contest. And this is what this team really needs to do to be great against opposing bigs. As you can see in this other clip, he gets into the paint, goes into a move double. You have Scotty Barnes there to help too. And I think this is their key to stopping opposing bigs. You have good one-on-one matchups like Precious, who can kind of hang with these guys, but it's mostly just a team effort for them. It's all about the rotations. It's all about how fast these guys can get to those spots, how fast they can be bothering these guys, and they do it really well. And what you'll see here with some of these other guys' stats too, like Bam, and like you just saw with Joel, is these guys never go off against their team. They have pretty similar stats to their opposing stats towards everyone. What that shows to me is that this team doesn't have that big of a problem stopping opposing bigs. Big area I think where I'm worried is on the offensive boards. I think great bigs like Bam, like Joel, like Jokic do really, really good at grabbing offensive boards and getting easy tip-ins like that when we can't set our defense. But when our defense is set and rotating quickly, it's really, really hard to stop us, and it's really, really hard to get easy shots even for these bigs. With Jokic again, his efficiency is really, really good, and I think that speaks to the problem of our offensive boards. Jokic is a great offensive rebounder. He knows how to get into those spots, and what you'll see in some of these clips is the only way we can stop him from getting that board is by triple teaming him, double teaming him to really, really bother him out of those spots. But if this team can do that and do it at a high level, we can't really complain. I think that's the best option we have, and I think we see it working here, and I think we see it working when these guys aren't dropping 30 points on us like you would think without having a true big on our team. I think too, as the season progressed and our rotations got better, our defense against these bigs got a lot. One place this team did though really struggle, and you really see it against those top tier bigs, is on the defensive boards, ranking last 30th in the league in defensive boards. I think this is especially a problem when we are running Fred and Gary Trent out there, just because we need 2 to 3 guys to really be boxing out and focused on the defensive boards to get those numbers up. Hopefully a guy like Christian Koloko can help us in that just by being so tall. Maybe he can grab some more of those easy rebounds for us. Hopefully Precious can kind of build on his amazing rebounding season last year as well. But I think that's the glaring problem for this team, and I think that problem gets exasperated. That's not how you say that word. But trying to be smart, especially when we face big guys, big 7-footers. But I think this team has the ability to address those problems. I don't think we're going to be top end in defensive rebounds, but one thing that is really promising and could bode well for our defensive rebounding is us ranking second in offensive rebounds and 8th in total rebounds per game last year. This team is great at crashing the offensive glass, and maybe if they can just kind of use some of that same hard nose battling to the basket on offense, on defense, maybe hopefully we can get a little more of those defensive boards up. I think this team has every single tool it needs to defend these bigs at a high level. I think they've shown last year that they can do it, even though some of the narrative around it seems to speak to the opposite of it. I also think this team has the ability to be a top 8, 9 defense in the league, maybe even a little higher, depending on how Precious looks. Depending on how Kloko looks, I think he can be a big boost in just those bench minutes, being able to just protect the rim at a high level just due to his size. But I'm just really, really excited. I think Nurse has really good defensive schemes, and I'm really excited to see how this 5, 6'7" to 6'9" lineup really looks and how much havoc they can cause. We ranked to the top end of steals last year too, and I think this is a good sign for this team, and they really, really like their deflections and their steals. If you saw their training camp video, they had their Noah system board, and one of the stats up there was deflections. Seems like that's going to be another big point of emphasis for this team in training camp, and I'm just really, really excited for this season to start. They had a great comeback yesterday against the Boston Celtics, coming back from 17 down by 17. It's funny to me. I saw that the Toronto Raptors post on the NBA official page talking about we come back from 17 and we still don't get no highlight, and it's kind of crazy that they showed one OG highlight where he bumped off of Marcus Smart, but I don't even think I saw that on NBA. But it's just crazy that even when we go off against top teams, they rather just highlight the team that we just beat than highlight our own guys. But that's whatever, it doesn't matter. They'll keep sleeping on us and we'll keep showing them what's up. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a great day, and like and subscribe if you would like. Take care.